Hi Kim, when conducting the interview, do I just follow the interview guides?
Certainly not. The guides are only plans to help you conduct interviews smoothly and avoid dead air. Dead air can kill an interview, as it suggests that the interviewer is unprepared and has nothing to gain from the interviewees. Flexibility and adaptability are the keys to every qualitative research method, including in-depth interview. Don't follow the guide too strictly. Be flexible in changing the question order, skipping redundant questions, and asking new questions based on the interviewee's responses.
Then what should I do?
In in-depth interviews, respondents are the focus. You should be aware of the power dynamic in the interview. The interviewer should avoid dominating the conversation and should instead encouraging the interviewees to share their experience and perspective. Moreover, in-depth interviews can be emotionally taxing for the interviewees. If the interviewee becomes uncomfortable or distressed, be empathetical and flexible to take a break or reschedule the interview. Conducting the interview involves asking questions and actively listening to the participant responses. Besides, during the interview, you need to pay attention to the interviewee's body language, such as facial expression, gesture, and tone of voice, as they can provide valuable insights into their emotions and attitudes toward the topic being discussed.
What if the respondent does not speak much or fail to provide genuine information?
You need to develop rapport with the respondent to encourage honest conversation. Rapport refers to harmonious connection or understanding established between two or more individuals during a conversation. It involves building trust, empathy, and mutual respect to facilitate effective communication and exchange of information. Rapport is connected to the interviewee's expectation of the interviewer's role. If you meet your respondent's expectation, you can establish rapport with them.
And how can I do that?
The interviewee's perception of the interviewer focuses on aspects such as appearance, demeanor, and behavior during the interview. Therefore, you must be careful about your dress style, manner of speech, and behavior during the interview. Developing rapport in in-depth interviews is indeed a continuous process. This process requires active engagement and communication skill from both parties to foster a comfortable and open environment. Rapport building is not a one-time event, but an ongoing effort throughout the interview. Here are some hints. Start by ensuring that you arrive at the interview location on time. This demonstrates that you respect the interviewee's time and value their participation in the interview. Once you are there, focus on creating a relaxed and informal atmosphere. While it is important to maintain an appropriate physical distance and be aware of your own body language, it is also helpful to put up interview at ease by being friendly and approachable. As the interview gets underway, demonstrate genuine interest and attentiveness to the interviewee's respondents. This can be achieved by maintaining eye contact, nodding, using verbal cues like "I see" or "go on," and summarize their statements. Another way to build rapport is by mirroring the interviewee's body language and speech pattern. This technique can help create a sense of similarity and understanding between you and your interviewees, which can be particularly variable when discussing sensitive or personal topics. However, it is important to do this subtly and naturally to avoid appearing insincere. You can build rapport with the interviewees by establishing common ground. This involves finding shared interests or backgrounds that you can discuss during the interview. For example, if you and the interviewee share a common hobby or interest, you can bring it up during the conversation to help establish a connection. Displaying empathy and understanding towards the interviewee's responses can help build trust and openness. This can involve acknowledging and validating their feelings and experience, or simply being compassionate and respectful in your interaction. It is important to consider the cultural and the social background of the interviewees when establishing rapport. Different cultures has varying norm expectations when it comes to communication and interpersonal interaction. By being aware of these differences, you can tailor your approach to the interviewees and avoid unintentional misunderstandings or miscommunication. Finally, building a strong rapport with your interviewees can take time, so it is always good to be patient and flexible. Don't be afraid to adjust your approach if necessary to establish a connection and build trust.
Do interviewees always talk?
Your respondents are not obligated to provide the information you need. In order to encourage them to share their thoughts and experience, it is essential to create an environment that fosters interest and motivation to speak. The first and foremost thing you need to do is to create and maintain an atmosphere where the respondent feel fully understood and safe to communicate without fear of being judged or criticized. Again, this can be achieved by building rapport with the interviewees. Another way to create interest and motivation is by emphasizing their opinions are important, because people enjoy expressing themselves about an issue when they are assured that it is important and legitimate. This can be achieved by occasionally giving them reinforcement, like locking your head or saying something indicating your understanding. When respondents feel they are being heard and their opinion matters, they are more likely to be encouraged and provide detailed, informative responses. It is crucial for you not to use threatening body languages and to avoid any sign of criticism or judgment. Use polite language and avoid derogatory and offensive remarks. If showing disagreement is important to get new information, then you should express disagreements in a respectful tone, focusing on the ideas being discussed rather than attacking the person. Using polite language and avoid offensive remarks. Another approach is to quote another person's statement to express disagreement. This can provide an opportunity to challenge the interviewee's perspective without attacking them personally. By using third-party statements, the focus remains on the idea being discussed rather than the person sharing them.
What if I suspect that the interviewees hesitate to give a full answer to my question, but I didn't prepare a follow-up question in my interview guide?
Prompts are used when respondents avoid certain topics or give incomplete information. Prompts often ask respondents to elaborate on questions they have previously answered but for which you need more information. Commonly used prompts include, "Could you tell me more about this? What happened next? Like what? Can you give me an example? How come?" Prompting is essential in exploring complex and sensitive topics where there are a lot of complicated and personal feelings involved. Here are some ideas of using prompts during in-depth interview about ethnic discrimination. If a respondent says experiencing ethnic discrimination, you may ask the respondent to clarify using, "Could you provide an example of the discrimination you experienced? What exactly occurred?" You can also ask the participant to further describe their experience by prompt like, "Can you tell me more about how this discrimination affects you on a daily basis?" Prompts are used to encourage participants to describe their feeling about a particular experience or situation. For example, ask questions such as, "How did you feel when you faced discrimination based on your ethnicity?" Or, "What emotion did you experience during the incidents you mentioned?" Some prompts encourage respondents to provide specific instances or experiences. For example, "Can you recall a particular incident where you felt discriminated against?" because of your ethnicity? Or have you witnessed any discriminatory behavior towards others in your community?
What about those people don't talk because they have trouble starting?
Two techniques that may be useful: creative illusions and speculation. Both techniques require participants to use their imaginative references and conjunctures during the interview process to explore deeper insights or potential connections. These techniques involve drawing on existing knowledge, cultural references, or personal experiences to generate new ideas, interpretations, or hypotheses. Creative illusion can be seen as a metaphorical or indirect references that evoke certain concept or emotion, while speculation involves making educated guesses or assumptions based on the available information. They encourage participants to think beyond their immediate experiences. Let's take an example of creative illusion. If you are the interviewer, you can ask, if the issue of ethnic discrimination was a scene from a movie, which movie would it be, and why? The respondent may reply something like this: I think it would be like the movie Crash, where different characters from the diverse background collide and their prejudices and their biases come to the surface. It reflects the complex dynamic of ethnic discrimination in our society. There's another example of creative illusion. You may ask, if ethnic discrimination were a painting, how would you describe it? What color, images, or symbols would you use? The respondent may answer something like this: I imagine a dark and sober painting with cracks running through it, symbolizing the brokenness of relationship caused by discrimination. The dominant colors would be red, representing anger, and black, symbolizing the pain experienced by the marginalized communities. Let's turn to speculation. So you can ask something like this: imagine a world without ethnic discrimination. How would that affect people's lives and society as a whole? The respondent may answer something like this: I speculate that without ethnic discrimination, individuals would be higher self-worth and confidence. The positive self-image will translate into greater educational and career opportunity, leading to a more prosperous society. Or you can ask something like this: if ethnic discrimination continues to persist, how will it affect future generations? The respondent may answer, I speculate that the cycle of discrimination will be perpetuated. Children growing up in discriminatory environment may internalize negative stereotypes and develop biases themselves. This can lead to intergenerational traumas and perpetual inequality. So in this case, in the context of an in-depth interview, by using creative illusion can be employed to explore complex topics or emotions that might be difficult to express directly. And by drawing analogy of marking references to well-known stories, historical events, or cultural symbols, interviewees can convey their thoughts or experiences in a more engaging and reliable manner. They can help to foster deeper understanding between the interviewer and the interviewee and encourage a more genuine and insightful conversation. On the other hand, speculation in an in-depth interview involves making informed guesses or hypotheses based on the information shared by the interviewees. It allows interviewers to explore potential connections, causes, or consequences related to the topic being discussed.